There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall. Sitting here praying that this night's gonna last. You got it all on tap, I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks, listen all night in the sheets all black. Said I'm falling fast, don't remember life before you, that's fact. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall. There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall. I'm falling fast, sitting here praying that this night's gonna last. You got it all on tap, I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks, listen all night in the sheets all black. Said I'm falling fast, don't remember life before you, that's fact. I feel good, you look great, I like you.
Woo! How is Tina doing today? I love the gnome. He's so cute. That one's cute. I'm trying. They're working though, so, and they're not looping. Uh-oh. That one I like. Oh, YouTube is saying excellent connection, but I keep getting the little buffer. Okay, that one's looping or something. Or the sound's too short, maybe. It's all good there. Okay. Well, welcome in. I hope you're having a decent day. How are the hands today? hope they're all right. All good. I think I'm gonna start doing these beginnings. I'm not sure. I gotta get my nerve up, but I think once I move my desk, I'm gonna start doing these beginnings with camera and do just a little, maybe 15-minute chat or something like that. Loonies didn't work. Oh. Yeah, I'm learning. I'm working on the little things in between doing other things, so. All right. I think we have about I don't know. I think that the GIFs that I got, I think they might be a little too long compared to the music. Maybe I gotta get different sound because you pick. Oh, that one looped. Yeah, so I gotta find like the happy sound length to go with the pictures, and you don't know until they play on stream or if you can figure that out some other way. I don't know how you figure that out. I just don't know. Um, but yeah, let's get going here. Um, I'm gonna have to get up and do a little walk around every something like half hour, 45 minutes, just because my legs are really bothering me. But we are going to play the continuation of this game. The full game is on the channel. Um, you think it's funny that his didn't work? Poor Looney. It's a real thing. It's like a whole, like you have no way of seeing what the length of things are before, like you do when you save them, I guess. And then I guess you could play like the sounds, but if you do a GIF that has like any kind of motion in it, I don't I don't see anywhere where I can open it to see how long it is so that I can match up the sound and the length of any motion in the GIF, whatever you want to call it. So I'm not exactly sure how that's done. So I'm trying, but so we are going to find out who um, had illegitimate children. And what that is that's called Roottreemania, which unlocks from the game after you play the main game. So we're going to go into this. We'll spoil unlock content. Make sure you've tied up any loose ends before starting this. So here we go. We're going to delete that because we don't need that. That's when we looked at it. Should go back. Oh no, it's here. All right, hang on. Hang on. We're gonna hang on. Because that was supposed to be deleting that, not... we're just gonna go here and get it started. Sorry about the jittery start. It is what it is. All right, here we go.
Hi.
Clark.
I'm Clark. Probably not who you expected to be knocking, but life's funny sometimes.
He's got an interesting accent. I'd like to know.
You've done well staying anonymous. It took us a while to track you down. A lot has happened in the last year.
Where that accent's
Far too much
from.
of it public. But there's stuff going on behind the scenes, too.
Okay.
I never wanted to be president. I'm not great with stress. With my mother's deteriorating I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I'm not here for sympathy. I'm here because part of the fallout of Sam's book is that everyone's coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah, I bet. If they
Now
could
that it's
possibly
public
be
knowledge,
millionaires.
The trust covers any Roottrie.
Hey,
Despite their
Lenora.
history with us, a lot of potential cousins have surfaced.
Potential cousins.
You may have seen that man on the cover of News Time. That was a disaster for us.
So potential cousins to him, which is he's part of the the next generation, right? No, he is the other. He's not the next gen. He's the, what are they
And
called?
then Miracle went and made it all
No
about
idea.
himself.
Brain fart.
The long and short of it is, a lot of potential cousins just showed up. Sam's helping some of them.
So his mother was a next gen. Yes, the spirits, the free spirits, free spirits. So he's a free spirit. So if they're getting cousins, then it was his cousin's parents, which was his mother's generation, which was the next generation, are going to be the adults that had those cousins. Yeah, we'll
But
get
she's
it.
not
We'll
really
get it.
going about it the right way. And she's not taking calls from anyone in the family. I let it
Okay.
slip through a mutual friend that I found you, and I was stopping in. It's manipulative, but I'm hoping she'll reach out to you. You can let her know I'm on her side. In the
Okay.
meantime, if you're willing, I can
Oh,
share our files with you.
oh,
Pass them along to Sam if she reaches out. I'm genuinely hoping she'll realize I'm an ally.
okay.
Feel free to do your own research. I've been told you enjoy things like this.
I do.
To each their own.
Woo! Okay, let's see what we got for evidence. We got notable events, 6 pieces. So 6 pieces is different than, hey, Bender, welcome in. Good morning, guys. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Um, so 6 pieces is the first line of adults. Hang on. So 6 pieces is these guys. It was 5 pieces, but we unlocked him at the end of the last episode. This is next gen. This is free spirits. This is Clark. This is the gentleman we were just talking about too, in the doorway. So he is cousins to all of these guys. Everybody in this row is his cousin. So these are the adults that had, I will say, illegitimate children. And I guess that's what we're working on. So the Roottrees Rift, we don't know much about. The Clark Rafferty LaRue, we were just looking at him. 5 Ps, don't know what that's about. Roottreemania and Anonymam. Okay, so there's 11 pieces of evidence here. And I'm not going to get into this just yet. I want to look at all of our pieces of evidence and see what we've got going on. So let's take a look at this. Previously on The Rootrees Are Dead. So this is going to be all about what we're doing now. We'll read that too. That's where we're going to get our starter evidence from, is those 2 things. And then this is all about what Clark just said to us. So let's just go through this again first, I think. Today, August 3rd, 1999, there was a knock at your door. Clark Rafferty LaRue, the current president of the Roottree Candy Company, explained that multiple people have come out of the woodwork to claim to be Roottrees. He has been trying to work with Sam, but she has not answered his calls. He also handed you a letter that said you could share with Sam that he said the following. To both of you. The company I hired to help us with the Clancy Trust is busy pouring through the entire family's history as well as people they may have had contact with. That said, the family is not particularly happy with this and are doing their best to slow things down. Many of them are actively avoiding our interviews. Yeah, I guess if they're going to be found out that they cheated. Every time there's a high-profile public case, it causes headaches. So please, I don't mind if you do your research, but I ask that you stop going to the press. Instead, we have a highly trained team of lawyers to back you up. We're ready and willing to verify anyone and everyone you believe could realistically be a part of a relationship that led to the birth of a new root tree. Just tell us who to investigate by filling out the new sections of the tree, and we'll take the time to handle verifying that the timeline checks out. But keep in mind why we're here. If someone didn't have a child or has already been disqualified by our lawyers, like in the case of the girl with the negative DNA test, there won't be a place for them on the tree. We're not just looking for affairs and infidelities. We're only looking for the ones that lead to a potential new root tree. Some spots in the news section will be marked with a tree icon. Those areas are reserved for members of the original family tree you filled in 8 months ago. Just like last time, be sure to use birth names for everyone you add. Married names or nicknames won't be enough. To start sorting out the infidelities, I recommend you turn your eyes to the men in positions of power. I'd love to say that's only because it would have been a lot harder for the women to hide 9 months of pregnancy and birth without family noticing, but I can't. I'll be blunt. I'm no stranger to infidelity. I wish I could claim that I was a perfect husband, but you've seen the family tree, so why pretend? Some of us learned how to wield our family name and fortune to our benefit. Consequences be damned. I can't change the past or unhurt those I betrayed. Instead, all I can do is be honest with myself and to you. Refuse to make any more mistakes and do my best to sort out the various messes we've left behind. Well, I mean, that's a definitely more responsible way of looking at it, I would think. So please fill in the tree, and together we can figure out how to begin to make amends. Good luck, and thank you both. From Clark. Okay, so I don't really see any tests here. I think this just explains to us what our job is here. Um, so that's good. That's, I feel like, completed. Notable events. Okay. So here we go. Um, we're going to read this and try to pick away at things. When we do our notebook this time, I think I'm just going to continuously do one page and work it that way instead of splitting it off like I did before, because I think that'll give us like something to scroll through and be like, okay, there's a name, that kind of thing. So let's call our first page, we're going to call it Notable Events, because that's what this first piece of information is. So, okay. Today's August 3rd, 1999. It has been 8 months since you helped Sam Madsen with the research necessary for her book. Sam was true to her word and paid you an incredibly large sum of money. She never mentioned you by name, however, so you've managed to keep a low profile. The Roottrees, on the other hand, have not. Below is a summary of notable events since the book's release, though you can refresh your memory in full detail by searching online. Okay. 6 pieces. Was Sam's Madison's book about Elias Roottree was released in February. It was a bestseller for a few months. At the time, Carl had not yet been replaced. So, book by, right? Did I write that right? Yes. Released in Feb. Okay, let's save that. And I think we will search that. We're not getting the search option, but we'll start with this. Internet. Ha ha ha. Okay, so now we've got it all. Okay, so I guess we'll just create notes by quickly highlighting text. So, no, I don't want the dots. Spider search, 6 pieces. Unwrapping America's Sweetest Family by Sam Madison. Um, okay, is the title. So let's do that, just so I know that it's that. We don't need a separate entry for this, I don't think. Okay, that's good. All right. Early 1999, perhaps assisted by the still relatively recent plane crash, shot to the top of the charts. Reviews were mixed, and its time on the bestsellers list was limited to only 2 months. Most reviewers agreed that the core of the book, about Samantha's fathers and the struggles they faced, was compelling and that the takedown of the hypocrisy of Elias Roottree was deserved. However, many took umbrage with the timing of the release and the tone of the book, which seemed vindictive. Excuse me. Yeah, I guess so. There's an older version of this page in the Time Travel Archive. Okay, we're going to look at that. I got to remember to look at that. Okay. The fallout from the book led to the Roottreee Company scrambling to release a statement, and due to a conflict of leadership, famously released multiple conflicting official statements over 3 days. This confusing move was referenced in popular culture due to a late-night sketch about indecisionists. I can't say that word, whatever that word is. Indecisionitis. There we go. But more traditional analysts have been calling it the Roottree Rift. All right, we're going to just do this real quick. But we're going to go back to this and read this. But it's up there. So history, we can go to it. Okay. Yes, she was shunned. Yeah, she should be vindictive. I don't think she's wrong in what she did. And I'm gonna look at this one too. Okay. And we're gonna go back. Okay, so we have them up there at least. Nope. This. Okay. Alright, so we got those two. A few months later, due to Roottreemania, the book re-entered the charts and sold even better than the first time. Okay, let's look at this. According to the publisher's website, 6 Pieces is an upcoming book by Sam Madsen. Okay. Alright, so I guess we'll look at the Roottree Rift. The 3 press releases from Roottree Candy Company after the release of 6 Pieces were referred to as the Roottree Rift due to the clear conflicts between them. The first was fairly standard. It stated that there was no president of the Roottree Company, but that the entire family was made aware of the release of the book and that they would be meeting as soon as possible. Only then could they verify the legitimacy of the claims it raised and decide the next steps. Real quick before I continue on, sound, music, is all of that okay, or do I need to adjust something? Let me know in the chat comments, please, because I'm not exactly sure, and I forgot to ask. The second release was emailed to business newspapers 3 hours later and announced that after a vote, Ron Roottree would be taking over temporarily as an interim president. All seems good? Okay. It also went on to state that Ron was aware of the book, had verified claims within, and would look into compensating Mrs. Madsen and her family immediately. It also stated that the company lawyers would be taking immediate steps with the family to revisit the Clancy Trust terms to make sure nothing like this could happen again. Okay, so Ron Roottree is one of Gwen's sons, and they were part of the R&R lawsuit to try to get, I want to say, Robert, his brother, out of the trust because he had gambling problems. I think I'm remembering that correctly. It was clear to business reporters and analysts at the time between the 2 press releases would not have been logistically sufficient to gather a majority of the family, even using conference calls. This was reported on many news channels, and a third, much shorter press release came the next day. It claimed that a draft of the announcement was made prematurely, and that Clark Rafferty LaRue and Ron Roottree would be taking over as the company's first joint presidents. It stated that any compensation planned would be based on stringent verification process. Okay, so Clark Rafferty and Ron Roottree are going to be, I'm going to, here. Maybe I need to do this. Hang on. No. This. And highlight. Okay. Clark and Ron first interim. We'll leave that like that. Think that's appropriate. Joint presidents. Joint presidents. Okay. All right. That's it for this. So, I'm going to do this. I think it's the same thing that we've seen before, but oh no, this is new. Okay. Okay. Let's see. We're going to make a note of this and see. All right, here we go. Clancy Trust is a Roottrees company, unusual legal arrangement, and the motivation for most of their major financial decisions. As a recap, the entire family earns inheritance directly from the profits of the candy company, as well as their sister clothing company, Root, with the period. Let's do this. And this, and then go back. Okay. This means that nearly every Roottrie can potentially have a say in the company's high-level operations. Historically, this has caused the family to be slow to approve any major expenditures that could significantly dig into the profits. Makes sense. After the release of 6 Pieces by Sam Madsen, the Clancy Trust came under heavy scrutiny. Sam, her children, and her grandchildren should have all been covered under the trust, according to the wording revealed during an internal family conflict between Ron and Robbie Roottree. It seems that those who wrote the trust, Clancy Edward Roottree at the direction of Elias Roottree, purposely deceived the rest of the family about the exact details of how it worked. Oh, in an attempt to keep Sam and her father, Edward Clancy, his own twin brother, in comparative poverty. Because the rest of the family made money hand over fist, they had very little motivation to question their understanding. Sam's book revealed this to the public, and it did not go over well. Clark Rafferty LaRue took over the company, and his most celebrated move was his first official one. He ensured Sam's family would get their share. To help facilitate this, the inheritance aspect of the trust is now under the control of a third party, Ruby Legal Enterprises. Hang on. Spider search that. But also, where is it? Here it is. Ruby Legal Enterprises. Oh, come on. Highlight. Okay. Controls the trust. Okay. All right, I like it this way better. It makes more sense to me. Other way I was doing it in the last videos just wasn't working for me. I don't think I very often went and looked at it. This ensures the financial motivations of Roottrees family members will not interfere with the investigations into potential new Roottrees. According to Clark's letter, however, some family members are still doing their best to slow the investigation by refusing to answer questions. Well, yeah, I mean, it has to do with infidelity, so let's see what this is. This is... Yes. Okay, so this is the original stuff. All right, so we did this. Let's do this one. Indecisionitis was a disease coined by popular sketch show as part of a fake pharmaceutical advertisement for Jit Together. Oh, God. While the segment isn't fully about the Roottrees Candy Company, it was released in the weeks after their bizarre response to the release of 6 Pieces by Sam Madsen and references the recent news. In the sketch, a woman ordered a number 5 at a drive-through speaker. Then after pulling forward, she changed her mind at the window, switching to a number 3. This caused a lengthy backup and annoyance among the restaurant's employees and other patrons. After she pulled away, as the employees began helping other customers, the same woman then barged into the restaurant past the current line, loudly complaining that she didn't receive her number 5. After this, the sketch transitioned from restaurant scene to a pharmaceutical commercial. The doctor claims that the woman was suffering from indecisionitis, a disease that caused extreme confusion and irritability, and has recently been found to severely hinder the leaders of large corporations, but could also spread to humans. Oh, that's funny. Hey, Pomada! Congrats on your 1,000. Nutty. Insane. But congratulations. You're doing something right. The doctor then recommends Jit Together, a fake pharmaceutical drug. Multiple testimonials use variations of the catchphrase, "When I can't make my tough decisions, I gotta get my Jit together." The final testimonial included a bald man in silhouette with a voice changer saying, "I'm not comfortable sharing who I am, but I am comfortable saying that before I took over my family's candy company, I really should have gotten my Jit together." That's great. Okay, let's take a look at this. Nope, that's the same thing. Okay, so this is definitely Clark. That's it. That's all we've got here, I think. Okay. So we did these. I didn't put this here. We did Indecisionitis. Let's do Ruby Legal Enterprises, because that's a new name to all of us. Okay, Ruby Legal Enterprises is the name of a law firm that has been hired by the Roottree Candy Company. The company is named after its head lawyer, Ruby Spratt. Okay. We'll have to look at that one. Oh, darn it. This one. Hey, Ricky. How are you? I hope you're doing well. You can't find much about the company from before this year, although all of the articles tell the same tale. After the fiasco of 6 Pieces and the revelation that the Rootrees internal law group was complicit in such a cover-up, they hired outside counsel. The Ruby Legal Enterprise Group now seems to have ties to multiple aspects of the Roottree Corporation, including the candy company and Root. They were recently in the news due to a high-profile lawsuit they raised against Cicely Sanchez. Okay, so Ruby Legal Enterprises also has ties to Root and Corp. Save that. And I don't know who this is, so let's find out who this is. Okay, we'll be back. I think that maybe we should maybe put a highlight on that and put that in. They were recently in the news. Cicely Sanchez has high profile lawsuit with Ruby Legal. We'll leave it at that because it's right there, so it shouldn't be hard to find. Watching, listening from my laptop. My work laptop has some corporate monitoring stuff on it. Well, thank you for watching. I appreciate you. You know that. Okay, so that's good. All right, so what have we not read yet? That we read, that we read. We read this. I don't know what this is yet. We did these two. So we got two names and this. Let's do this one. Roottrees Sisters Fashion Scholarship. The Root website has a small memorial section in the deceased members of the family, to the deceased members of the family, but contains no new information. The most recent catalog, Spring 1999, had an entirely black cover with no text on it. On the leadership page, you learn that Root is currently managed by a designer who was apparently Brenda White's second in command. So Brenda White was Carl's wife, or the Roottree sisters' mother. Right? I think so. Let's put that there. Okay, so that's probably irrelevant. All right, wait. You don't recognize her name, and she seems to be unrelated to your search. Okay, we'll leave that go. There's also a scholarship page. On it, you find information about the Roottree Sisters Fashion Scholarship. That's what we're reading now. Let's see what this is all about. We're going to put this here. Root website. Okay. It's awarded to 3 underprivileged high school girls each year who wish to pursue a career in fashion. Apparently, it also gives them an opportunity to show off their designs on professional models on a real runway. According to the site, the fund was created directly from the shares that would have contributed to the inheritance of... Oh, Looney is rating us. Thank you, Looney. It's a good thing we have plenty of desk space. Work laptop, personal laptop, gaming PC under the desk. You go, Ricky. Thank you, Looney. Thank you very much for the raid. Welcome in, Looney people. Hey, Rabbit. Thank you, Looney. You are greatly appreciated. Thank you. How you doing, Rabbit? Lenora was already here. Okay, let's keep reading. Thank you, whoever came on over. I appreciate you. Thank you. According to the site, the fund was created directly from the shares that would have contributed to the inheritance of the Roottree sisters if they were still alive. Like other aspects of the Clancy Trust, it's managed by Ruby Legal Enterprises. Okay, so this is managed by Ruby Legal. Okay. All right, we've got all that. So I guess we've got these two names to go through. So we know that this is Ruby Legal Enterprises. So let's read this. We got all this information we're getting. Hey, Bill. He came in through the window. Get him, Bill. Get him. Oh, Ruby, Rabbit. I hope you're okay. Hey, Frost. Yeah, they're up now. Um, they're up now. Yeah, just lurk, Rabbit. I hope you're okay. Ricky is 100% right. Just relax. You're good. Aw, thank you, Looney. Oh, it does it twice. Why does it do it twice? Sorry. Yay! Aw. There's some little icons there to use. I've only got 4 so far, but I hope you enjoy them. They're a little fuzzy or something. I'm not quite sure. I have to work on it. Aw, Bender, thank you. Thank you, guys. Aw, you guys are awesome. Thank you. Okay, I have to do this. I have to read. Brain scan neurological damage to vision center. Rabbit. Honey, big hugs. Thank you for lurking. Lurking is always welcome. Thank you very much for even attempting to be here. But if your eyes are bugging you, please don't watch. Just listen to my hyper soothing, scratchy, horrible voice. Love you though. Thank you guys. I'm gonna make badges. I'm working on them. It's just a process for me. So those are just temporary badges. I will be adding cool cool badges shortly. They're just not done. Okay. Ruby Sprat, like her. Thank you guys. I'm humbled. Thank you. Ruby Sprat, like her legal company, is relatively elusive. The most complete source of information you can find from her, from before her time with the Roottrees, is from a website for a magazine owned by a major airline. She was the subject of one article from a recurring series about modern-day success stories. Ruby grew up in foster care, but excelled at school. And oh, I have a sneaking suspicion. I don't know. I have not watched anybody's content of this. I did watch somebody's content of the regular game after I was completed with it, but I think that she's going to be one of the kids of a infidel. Okay. Grew up in foster care, but excelled at school and earned a scholarship to study at Mid-Eastern University. There, she graduated at the top of her legal class and was quickly hired as a lawyer for a prominent firm. Let's just do this. I don't know, but just in case. Ah, Ruby. Okay. There are a few high-profile corporate-involved cases she was a part of. One was as a legal consultant for a class action lawsuit against a manufacturer of steering wheel covers. Another was to help a local gas station chain in her hometown of Portland. Oh, wait. We don't have her. Okay, let's get a note going for her. So, foster care. Oh my god. Scholarship. Earned a yeah. Scholarship to top of class. Hired by okay, I think that's what we've got so far. Oh, Portland. I think that's important. That might trace where she's from. Thank you, guys. I did okay. I will say Mozzie helped me with getting I made those icons or emotes, and when I made them, I chose to have a invisible background, but it gave me like that pixelated look, and it was part of the picture. It wasn't the invisible looking one. So that was weird. But Mozzie did 2 on his Canva. He has paid for a Canva, and they let him take the frame out. But what I did is I saved my pictures, and when I went to open them to take a better look at them to see if I could like color off the pixelated weird background, it gave me an option to use a Windows program that I think was like Windows Design or something that was free. And that has an option in it to remove any background, but it leaves a little bit of a line trace around them. So some of them aren't the greatest, but it's definitely better than having this square of pixelation as a background, which was like white and gray, which would have looked really weird. So that's gone. Thank you for the confidence, Lunas. I appreciate it. Ruby, Robbie's child. Could be. Could be. Hello, bad boy. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. Have I heard of Roots of Pacha? No. Cave person themed farming game. Oh yeah? I'll have to check it out. Roots of Pacha. Can you send me that on Discord or wherever? Steam, whatever, however. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, let's get going. There are a few high-profile corporate cases. We did this. Promotion that allowed gas, with the rollout of a gas promotion that allowed gas station customers the ability to bet on the price of gas. The blurb ends by calling her new firm a double threat. Her company's services are a cross between traditional lawyer and a PR manager. Okay. So that's up here, I think. Here. I'm gonna put it here. Between traditional lawyer and PR. Okay. All right, we'll get this figured out. And we'll save that because that's the end of this. So Ruby Sprout we did. We didn't do Cicely Sanchez, so let's take a look at her. We're getting all this, and then we'll start looking at the family tree and figure out what all that is. I have post a link on Discord. Thank you, Ricky. Laptop's going through testing. Well, that sucks. All right, let's we have her here already. Let's see if there's anything that we can add. Cicely Sanchez is an author best known for Portrait of a Changed Man. Hang on. We'll put that in our spider search. Okay. Her follow-up, Foreign Gospel. We'll look at those. So she wrote... let's do it here. Author. Let's get them in here. Portrait of a Changed Man. one. And then I didn't do it here. Sorry. Okay. Did not perform as well critically, but still sold quite respectably. She has written a few more books since then, including a biography of Van Gogh, but her first two are her claim to fame. Plus, is it GH? Yes. Okay. So she's interested in art also. Very much interested to write a book on it. All right, according to a site about authors, Cicely is known for her nonfiction with a focus on exploring darkness in the human psyche. Oh, all right. I don't think we need that. Unless that has something to do with Portrait of a Changed Man, Foreign Gospel, unless it has something to do with one of her books, which I don't know, but I'm not going to put that note in. Recently, Cicely appeared in a magazine called Picoty. This is interesting. Why would she be? Oh, stop going to jit together. Magazine called Picoty, with an article about a book that she had been commissioned to write for Guy Hudson. Oh, okay. I wrote commissioned. Is it two M's? Yes. S. Sorry. Commission to write, what is it? A book? And he was the fourth president. Yes. Okay. All right, interesting. The magazine and Cicely herself were immediately issued a cease and desist due to its inclusion of pictures that she never had the rights to publish. The issue was pulled from shelf stores and making an instant collector's item. Okay, magazine called Picoty. So we can look that up elsewhere. We know who Brenda White is. I don't think we're going to get any more of this. Let's see what this is about this. I don't think this is going to have much that's going to help us, but maybe. Let's take a look. Roots of Pacha supports multiplayer. Ooh, would you want to play? Ooh, I will definitely 100% look at it after this stream. Absolutely 100%. Mid-Eastern University is a notable private college that advertises itself as midway between Maine and Miami. I might need this. So we'll stick it here and we'll see. Private college. Okay. Their mascot is the Spectres. Why do we need to know that? I don't know. Oh. Was that Swimmer one of Clark's children? Was it Clark's son that was a swimmer? Hang on. Bear with me. Where did we put him? I'm not going to be able to see him. It's definitely over there. No, not those two. It's over there, so over here. All right. Well, let's save our note. We can always open it back up. Here. This one, maybe. Where was here? A Kellogg. He was a swimmer, and I remember something about that whole Spectre thing. Thank you, Frost. Thank you for being here. You're very much appreciated. All watch time is appreciated, guys. Thank you very much for taking time out of your day for little old me. Okay. Although they're not known for their sports programs as much as their education, their legal and language departments are their pride and joy. Okay. Though they also have a fairly extensive computer science and robotics program. Okay. So, do we think that that's important? I don't know. Um, uh, legal and language. Uh, science and okay. All right. Along with other prestigious schools that haven't quite reached the notoriety of Ivy League schools, some refer to it as Little Ivy. All right, let's throw that in. That might be important later. Who knows? It sounds like it might be. The college has embraced this, calling their newspaper the Hedard, Hedderald, which is a combination of Hedra, the scientific name for ivy, and the Herald. Okay. Um, Hederald. Maybe somebody works for that, and that's why they're giving that to us. Not 100% sure, but why go into all that detail if you're up for it? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Very cool. Okay, I will definitely check it out and I'll let you know. I'm always looking for something that people want to play. Um, their website boasts that they have a historical technology museum on campus, including a still functioning computer from the 1960s. Wow, that takes up a full room. They also have a printing press that they use to print one special year-end issue. Hmm. Come on. Oh, I have to open. Each year. I think that's a good way of putting that in there. All right, that's it for the university. And then we just have this. Picotee is a category of flower with outlined around the edges of its petals. Okay, but it's a periodical. It's a magazine. So is it here? No. Picotee. Keywords are required in both fields. So that was Ruby. No, it wasn't Ruby. Maybe it was Sicily. I think it was. Cicely Sanchez. Ooh, we got a picture or something. And a new periodical was added in an issue that focused on talking toy fish and the demonic messages it supposedly said as the batteries ran low. Picotee had an article about a canceled book by Cicely Sanchez. The book's subject was Guy Hudson, and the issue was said to contain pictures that Cicely did not have the rights to publish. Because of the pictures, this issue was pulled from store shelves, making it the subject of some conspiracy. So yeah, we know that. The version found in these archives is incomplete. What if we search all? Just that's all we get. Okay. All right. Let's see if we can start getting anything. That was all just this 6 pieces. Did this, right? I'm not sure. Yeah, because we have this. We put information in our book. So we did that. Let's do Clark, new president of the Roottree Corporation. It does not include Root, which appears to have its own new leadership. Okay. Not. Okay. All right. Actual typing, folks. Actual typings. Lurking, making burger patties for the air fry. Nice. Nice. Okay. In early March of 1999, about 5 months ago, it was announced that both Clark Rafferty LaRue and Ron Roottree would be taking over for what was essentially described as a transitional period in the aftermath of 6 pieces. 2 weeks later, the company released a statement that thanked Ron for his work, but announced that Clark was the new permanent president. Okay. So he... Okay. All right. Permanent president. Most of the information about Clark you knew already. Many descriptions of him tend to focus on his advertising career and that his mother was Lauren Roottree. Few seem to touch on this complex and volatile marital history. You think? Since taking over, Clark has tried to remain out of the spotlight, but did have one notable foray in the public eye. He gained a lot of support when his first move was a statement in favor of accepting Sam and her family into the trust, as rightfully he should have done. This also served as an announcement that the Clemson Trust would no longer be handled by anyone in the family, since due to their financial motivation, none of them could ever be impartial. Okay. That's good. I think this is going to be 1999. I'm going to leave that there because that's here. Yeah, that's when that all happened. Okay. Let's close this. Let's open up our... So we've got this. Let's find out what the 5 Ps are. After this announcement, there was a rash of different people claiming to be Roottrees. Okay. Highest profile of these. Oh, we got another name here. Five Ps. As a publicity move at the same time, 5 Ps is the only notable person on the updated tree. Okay, so he'll have a yellow star on our tree when we get there. We'll get him placed. I just want to read this. There was a rash of different people claiming to be Roottrees, mostly dismissed as opportunists and scammers. All right. A rapper. A rapper. Okay. So he's musical. That might give us... We'll put a question mark. That's my hint that maybe he was Robbie, whichever one of those guys, or Diamond LaRue's husband, what was his name? Jim? Maybe? Not sure. Felix Fellows, who changed his moniker to 5Ps as publicity at the same time. Only notable. Okay. So, yeah, let's, what am I doing? We'll save that. Save. No. Leave. Okay. We need this spider search. Here we go. 5Ps, aka Felix Fellows, is a rapper who has found some recent radio play after being publicly confirmed as a long-lost Roottree. Aha. Publicly confirmed as a Roottree and entitled to part of their fortune. His alias, 5Ps, is a play on 5 pieces. Article you find on a website known for their particularly harsh reviews of modern music gives his most recent album, Root of All Evil, 1 star out of 7 for whatever reason, with the headline, More Poser Than My Action Figure Collection. Can I copy? Yes. Can I paste? It let me do it. Oh my god, all this time. Okay. The review mentions his real name is David. And he used to go by Dirty Davy. We'll put it here. Okay. And the author rues the fact that this rebranding was a blatant marketing stunt at the expense of his mother's tragic past. She overdosed when she was 16. Apparently, only one of the songs on the album is new, and the others were simply rewritten to turn blatant references to sex, drugs, and violence into clumsy euphemisms. His rise to prominence was kickstarted when he appeared a few months ago on the cover of... Okay. We're going to do this real quick. We'll be right back to this. Damn. Nope. And we're gonna look for IX. There we go. Alright. I think I can leave that there. Oh, we got a bunch of stuff. Okay. We're gonna come back here though. I left so much stuff before. I got so confused and whatnot that I'm trying to just follow through on what I'm dealing with at the time. Apparently okay. His rise to prominence was kickstarted when he appeared a few months ago on the cover of News Time, holding a photo of his mother with Guy Hudson. So I'm guessing Guy's going to be his dad. That's good. It gets us started on our little tree. At first, Roottree Company denied it vehemently. Miracle Roottree even appeared on the same magazine a week later, but since then, they've backtracked and publicly welcomed him to the family. Their press release at the time stated that they had new evidence that confirmed his story. Very cool. Okay, so we've got him in. We're going to go back to this. Nope, we have to switch to here. Oh no, that's it. That's the periodical. Okay. Close-up of the photo is holding on the cover of the issue have been added to your evidence. All right, let's get moving on this. Let's close that. We're not gonna continue with this. I want to get somebody in the tree. Oh yeah, we're at an hour. Okay. Oh, what do we got here? How do we know who's what? Oh, we know that he's confirmed, so he goes here. He's the only confirmed, right? Get started. Click on the faces in your evidence tab. Gotcha. Okay. All right, this is a whole reading thing. Let's get Felix Fellows. He's related to Guy Hudson. Okay. Who's this? Not sure. We'll find out. And here's some more faces. Oh, this is Guy Hudson and his mom. The rapper appeared on the cover of News Time holding this Polaroid of his mother, Joanna, when she was Zach Morton's secretary at a company picnic. He claims that Joanna and Guy, also in the photo, were having an affair that led to his birth. Okay, so here. So this is David. David Hudson? No. I guess we would put him down as Felix then? Yeah. I don't like doing that because I feel like we should be using his real name. Felix. So that's okay. So his dad is Guy. Oh. Can't put them in? That's interesting. Wait. Oh, was this his mom? Maybe goes here. I'm not sure. Joanna. I think his mom goes here. Joanna. Okay. So that puts Guy here. Oh, look at all of these. Wow, yep. There he is. Oh, wow. Wow, he's a hot mess. Wow. Well, at least this one didn't end up, he didn't have any kids, so we don't have to figure those out. Wow. Okay, I'm going to leave this on the screen for a second. I need to get up and I need to stretch. I will be back momentarily. Yeah. Love to you all. Be right back. Alrighty, I am back. Sorry about that, guys. Still a long delay for replay sounds for redeems. I don't know why. I don't know why. Alright, so we've got our first Roottrie, and he was a president. He was the 4th president. Right? Because he was the 5th. Yes. Okay, Guy was the 4th. Let me just verify. Here he is. Oh, he was the 3rd. Okay, hang on. He was the 3rd president. Okay. Well, onward. What else do we have in our evidence that we really didn't check out? Who is this? Miracle. Okay, appeared on the cover of Newstime shortly after 5Ps did. He vehemently denied that 5Ps was a Roottree. This article was before the DNA test that proved it. Miracle doesn't focus much on the details of 5P's accusations regarding his mother and Guy Hudson. Instead, he comes across as exhausted at the events that have been going on behind the scenes, as well as the character of those he feels are attacking his family. He starts with 6 pieces content. He says that although most of the book was based in fact, he left out anything that wouldn't fit the agenda. It left out. He points out that Sam's daughter still earns a generous salary for overseeing the farm division of Roottree, and that Sam did the same before her. That Sam's family was not destitute, and that it really was only her son who chose to take on a job with no salary. He claims that though they didn't have to, the family helped pay for her son's medical bills after voting that it was the right thing to do. Miracle also says that the story about his father, Elias, shunning EC was one-sided, leaving out the Edward Clancy's blame in the whole thing. Elias gave him a simple ultimatum: stop sinning or be disowned. Miracle said it was EC's own choice and that Elias allowed him to earn food and shelter on the company's dime was a kindness, especially considering that him and John continued to live together. Wow. Well, he was a preacher. So, that kind of explains the thought process there. Miracle then pivots on the fallout from 6 pieces. He recounts a deluge of claims to the Clancy Trust the family have been subjected to. He doesn't cite any specifics, but says that every time someone comes forward, the family devolves into arguments. They've had to hire outside legal team to help, but so far every case has been demonstrably, laughably false. All they do is tarnish this family's reputation. He focused on 5Ps who appeared on Newstime before him. He calls him a grifter and a delinquent and says he's using their name and products to sell filth to the masses. Of all the accusations, he says this is the most dangerous because it exposes the world to hatred. He cites 5P's lyrics as violent, sexist, and ungodly, and prays the boy will repent, retract his lies, and find religion. Right? The reflection is the kid. He always, yes, he does. He always has that tie though. So maybe it's this Miracle in the picture because we don't have. Oh no, he's a cheater. Right? I mean, if this is Miracle on the cover, wait a minute. He has to be down here somewhere. He's one of these. So there's 4 from the up tree. 1, 2, 3, 4. And Miracle's one of them. Because if I go up here to the Miracle family, none of them has a picture that can go with their thing. Clark does. Guy doesn't either. So because Guy doesn't, I put that picture down here and it went in. So I'm curious if this is, I mean, it doesn't matter where on the tree we put them. We have to match them up with the right places. We know that this kid went here because he was the only one that was starred from here. He's the only one that had a star, so we know he went here. Interesting. Okay, well, we don't know where he goes. And we don't know a lot about her, Joanna. Roottrees family picnic. I don't know. All right. We don't have anything more on this because he hasn't come back yet. Can't place that picture yet. What is this? This was an issue of Picotee magazine that contained an article. Okay. Used photo of Guy and Cicely did not own the rights to publish. Fortunately, the magazine was did not. Reveals Roottree secrets. Missing pages. Okay. I guess we could check those books. I guess we should read this. We didn't read this yet, did we? It's a new investigation. I recommend you try catching up with some of what happened last time. Some web searches may yield different or new results. Some books and magazines from your previous investigation may be relevant to your new one. It's also a much more widespread search. The first and last names you can choose from will contain red herrings. Not all of them will be used. Below is a reminder of some of the most notable beats of your initial dive into the Roottrees family. All evidence from before is still available. And for your convenience, any searches that do not lead to new information still function as they did during your first investigation. It was founded by a Goliath. Yes, we know that. Most of the action took place in and around Butler County. Elias, Carl, and Raina were on the cover of magazines. Other notable Rootrees such as Lauren, Miracle, and Jim had physical media. Okay. Lauren's 2 diaries were probably the most useful resources overall, mentioning many of her relatives directly. We know all this. We know all of this. I'm not going to go rehash it. Yep, we know that. November Roottrees was really difficult to place. Brian Jones's company website, right? Ronald and his brother Robert go by Ron and Robbie. Yep, we know that. Sam and her father were cryptically mentioned in a book about historic letters. There were also a few dead ends and red herrings. Aloysius, who claimed he was a Roottree, right? That's why his middle name was Herring. He was a red herring. Family Man, a book about Elias Roottree, turned out to be propaganda and not useful. Lauren's other books were not very useful, though they could lead to other information. Okay, Carolyn Morton's sculptures were not useful. Okay, so we got this is really nothing. Although, wonder if we look up more about that. We need to get the books going. This is all. We're good. Mother Joanna. First few weeks he was president. His parents divorced when he was. Oh, so. Okay, so. Okay. Oh, damn it. Here. First few weeks that he was president, his parents divorced when he was 4 after his father learned of the affair. Felix and his mother then moved to Portland because she was afraid for her and her son's life. Grew up with her until he was 16, but one day his mother never came home from the movie rental store where she worked. The next morning they found her dead from an overdose in her car. She had stolen all the cash from her drawer and spent it on heroin. Aw. Okay. So her last known job was a secretary. There it is. I don't know what her last name was. We have to figure that out. Went through her belongings. The only things he had to remember her by were a hairbrush she always used, some photos, and a stuffed animal from her childhood. But then he found it, a box hidden in the back of her closet. Inside were love letters and photos related to Guy Hudson, as well as a letter from his father containing threats. He threw it all away, with the exception of the one photo he appears with on the cover of News Time. He says it was the only one where they were dressed. The only one not from the affair itself. The picture is shown in full inside the magazine and was added to your evidence. Magazine also includes some additional history about his career. He was born Felix Fellows to Riley and Joanna Fellows. Okay. Fellows. Riley. Okay. But has never rapped without a moniker. He tried to find success by opening for other artists and even by selling CDs on street corners in Portland. He has only recently started going as 5Ps to harness the power of his lineage. The writer did some research into the truth of these claims and was able to confirm that Joanna did work for the Roottree Company as a secretary sometime during the early to mid-70s. Also confirms that she died of a drug overdose and that Felix went into foster care soon after. They were unable to track down his father. They also reached out to the Roottree Company, but at the moment the company's blanket statement was, since the release of a recent book, Roottree has seen an overwhelming number of false ancestral claims. None have been factual, and nearly all have been knowingly dishonest. We encourage individuals to reach out to us in an official capacity as opposed to attempting to use our name in the media for publicity. Okay, well, we got his parents on there. I don't know how many people we need to get on before things lock in. So they got divorced, yeah, and she had an affair with him. Okay, that's good. We got one. So 1, 2, 3, 4 people on there, but are they not right? Name, occupation, and... So am I not right? Is this like drug addict? Hmm. It's got to be secretary, their last known job. All right, let's see. Before the person who hired you returns, every time you get 4 additional key relatives completely correct, they will be locked in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hmm. So is this not? It's got to be right. Maybe it's got to be because he's starred, so he 100% goes there. Musician? Is there a rapper? No, there's not. What could it be? What am I not? What's not right? Public speaker. No, it's got to be a musician. Plain and simple. Okay. Secretary. Third president. Spouses without pictures. That's very true. It could be very true. So how about we look up Roottreemania? Let's do this. Let's search this. Okay. I don't think we did this yet. Collectively, popular culture seems to focus on the Roottrie family for a few weeks before everything felt oversaturated and society moved on. Because of the 5 Ps saga, an underlying through line on how pop culture treated Roottreemania was an exclusive for everyday people to claim they were also Roottrees. An excuse. God. Daytime talk shows had I'm a Secret Roottrie episodes. Late night hosts and guests made jokes about other lost members of the family, and there was a widely shared website where you could fill in your own name to find out if you were a secret Roottree. When you submitted your name, it simply said no, with an image of Clark Rafferty giving you the finger. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. Roottreemania lasted only a few weeks, just long for 6 pieces to re-enter the charts and to trigger new printings of other Roottreemania media. God. This included Lauren's diaries, VHS releases of Gwen's old movies, as well as countless other unauthorized biographies, mostly which seemed to attempt to capitalize on the Roottree sisters, Carl and Brenda. Okay, so maybe? Maybe? No. Oh, darn it. Hang on. I'd like to find this website. That'd be a great picture to add to our stuff. These re-releases were too late to successfully capitalize on or extend the craze. As a result, most of them were failures, and countless novelty shirts that had variations of I'm a Secret Roottree became immediately unfashionable, though some people still wear them ironically. Maybe? No. What if we... Jeez. Nothing. right, so that's a nothing burger. Um, okay, let's go to this last one. Oh, Anonymom and Jane Doe Roottree in July after an anonymous woman who the press began to refer to as Anonymom appeared in interviews with her face and voice disguised. She claimed that an affair with a Roottrie led to the birth of her daughter, also known as Jane Doe Roottree. If true, this would make her daughter yet another secret Roottrie, and therefore entitled to a share of the Clancy Trust. Nobody knew it at the time, but this would turn out to be the last chapter in the Roottreemania saga. As more of Anonymom's story came out, people began to notice how much it echoed 5Ps in nearly every significant way. The court of public opinion began to turn, confirming the world's suspicions. The DNA test, orchestrated by lawyers on both sides, proved that her daughter was not a Roottree. This final event caused public disappointment, smugness from doubters, and countless accusations of the entire ordeal being an elaborate hoax or attempt at fraud. Things got a bit ugly, and the fun of Roottreemania seemed to disappear overnight. Now, a month later, it feels like a distant memory. Okay, so let's do... Okay. After Felix Fellows, is this the same thing? Began with a brief TV interview. She claimed she slept with Guy Hudson. Her daughter was a Roottree. She was on TV. Hey, John. How are you? Hope you're feeling okay. She appeared in the shadows with a disguised voice and promoted an article about herself. Okay. So there's an article in News Time about Anonymom. But we have to go grab that one. I want to see something. Oh, I can't do it. Okay. She in the TV interview and the article, she referred to her daughter as Jane Doe Roottree. The name Anonymom was not self-inflicted. She seemed to spring up organically because nobody else knew how to refer to her. That makes sense. The day after the Newstime article, Sam Madsen publicly supported Anonymom due to some parts of the story she found particularly credible. With the momentum from Sam's endorsement, Anonymom went on a media blitz. Ultimately, this backfired. As more details came out, people became skeptical of her story due to this extreme similarity to 5Ps. Her accusations even included many of the same details as his mother's story. This included her job as a secretary and the time period, the late 70s. After fumbling the 5P story so publicly, the Rootrees were more prepared to handle all Clancy Trust-related cases. Within a week, the DNA test approved that Anonymom's daughter could not be related to the Rootrees. This was announced at a joint press conference with lawyers representing both Anonymom and the Rootrees. Each party ensured their respective clients provided accurate samples. Immediately after the negative results were released, many of those who already had been skeptical felt vindicated. Others who had built up hope that history could repeat itself after 5Ps felt duped. Many people suspected the whole affair had been a hoax to gain fame and money. Many demanded that Anonymom be held accountable, and some people even began to attempt to track down her true identity. Roottree Company felt pressure to put out a second statement to try to curb some of the backlash, even going as far as to say, though it was scientifically proven that Jane Doe Roottree is not a Roottree, this does not mean that her mother and Guy Hudson were not involved in an affair. She had every right to make her claim, as it has been verified that her stories about Guy Hudson were not exaggerations. Please leave their family alone. Okay, that makes sense. Many people claim this high-profile anti-climax and public backlash was the beginning of the end for Roottreemania, since much of the fun was the shared fascination about secret Rootrees. Others think that, like any fan, it just ran its course naturally. Regardless, this was the final notable event related to the release of Six Pieces, and things soon went back to normal. I want to grab this real quick and just drop it. Okay, it's nothing. So we'll go back. Okay, sorry. I don't want to lose things. Jane Doe Roottrees has already been eliminated as a potential new Roottrees by the company's lawyers, who are the ones verifying your work. Anonymous Affair does not appear on your updated tree. So all of that was for absolutely nothing. Sorry. Okay. Oh. Yes, total. I read to you guys for how long? For frigging nothing. Alright, we got this though. So if we try this, can we get that? This is all the old stuff. So if we do Cicely, what was her name? Damn it. S-E-L-Y. S-E-L-Y. Sanchez. Lawsuit. Didn't have the right to redistribute. Okay. Piketty apparently announced that they would be pulling their issue. In case it would be worth something someday, it especially caught the eye of conspiracy theorists who assumed that anything worth suing over would have to be hiding something. Unlikely that Ruby could have the story pulled if it had gone to court. Piketty likely got more eyes on it than it would have if Roottrees just ignored the story. So how would we find that? Canceled book. Yeah, nothing. What if we do... Alright, wait. I gotta open something with her name. And I'm gonna try to copy. And put... Nope, can't do it. Cicely... Damn it. Okay, so did we put that in the notebook? I think we did. Nope. We didn't. Who was the author that we wrote down? We know Sam's book. Did I not save the note? I didn't save the note. Okay, so we need to go back to here. Cicely. Okay. So we've got portrait, changed man. I'm not being fancy writing it down now. I just want them in here. Foreign gospel. Oops. Save. Okay. Let's look these up. Nope. Okay. Come on. Spider search it. Nothing. And maybe I need to look it up at the library. Right? Yeah. What was it called? Lauren Gospel. Okay. Out of print. Tells a tale of a man from the Catholic Church who claims he was told by God that he should travel to Thailand and began to preach, specifically with the goal to convert 10,000 people. He returned to the United States after just over 2 years, claiming to have succeeded. Books tells his version of the story, but the author also traveled to Thailand to investigate these claims, to talk with some of the this is going to be about Miracle. Okay, what was this other book? Portrait. It's going to be about Miracle. She's going to be Miracle's kid, maybe? What if everything you stand for, everything you know to be true today, could disappear in an instant? All of your politics, relationships gone in the blink of an eye. Would you still be you? Cicely Sanchez tells this powerful true story about a man who woke up after being saved from drowning in his backyard pool and became an entirely different person. Included are interviews from those that knew him best before, as well as a one-on-one chat that paints an entirely different picture. You won't be able to put it down without wondering, what if that were me? Interesting. Sounds like a good book, actually, doesn't it? Alright, what if we not... What are we missing? What have we not looked into? Let's try looking up. Business Watch. Okay. Alright. Something new. Clark Rafferty LaRue, as well as Ruby Spratt and her company, Ruby Legal Enterprises, were featured in Business Watch after the company took over as keeper of the Clancy Trust. There's an article about that process that interviews Clark and Ruby. Okay. Time Travel Archive. Okay. It seems that Ruby actually approached the Roottrees sometime in late March after the Roottree Rift, but well before Roottreemania. An accomplished but relatively low-profile lawyer, she offered to work for very little money, so long as she could be a public face to build her reputation. The family quickly jumped on this chance, as many family members often attempt to spend as little as possible to keep their shares of the Clancy Trust as high as possible. After looking over the Clancy Trust more carefully than anyone's had in years, Ruby came to the conclusion that Clancy Edward Rootree's implementation was not legally sound, and that there would be constant legal challenges without some modifications. The family decided to put her in charge of the trust, both legally and as a public face, to prevent further issues. Ruby Legal Enterprises has been described as a mix between a law firm and a PR firm. Okay, her first move, as sort of a trial run before she was even hired permanently, was to help them draft a public statement accepting Sam into the family and declaring that they'd begin to address the Clancy Trust. This went quite well, and they officially hired her in April. Ruby Legal is now in charge of financial aspects, including verifying claims to the trust and organizing the we know all this, that have been set up in the name of the deceased. Okay. Let's show this older thing. Oh, this is just about the Clancy Trust, so that's not what we want. This is the same thing again. Okay. Do we think we should look up Felix? Nope, we want... Oh, well, I probably should. Kicking off Roottreemania, Miracle appeared on the cover. Okay, yeah, we got that already. Should we try this? Teen Blast. Popular and attractive enough that even though his music is not targeted towards teen girls, they seem to be paying attention anyways. While he hasn't done any interviews with the magazine, they've listed him as amongst the hunky hotties for the past few months with small bios that tell you various facts about him. This includes his real name, David. Oh! Hang on. I bet. Maybe. I guess not. Sorry. I don't know. I'm going to leave it at David. His birthday, his star sign, and where he grew up. Okay, we're going to look up hunky hotties. For sure. Nope. Not there. Okay. Letter to the editor also claims it's not possible that he was born in 1977, as he claimed in a song called 17 Magazine that he turned 17 in 1992. The editor responds with a statement that they've reached out to his agent to ask about the song, and they were told it wasn't performed by 5Ps, that they shouldn't print rumors. He claimed on a song, 17 Magazine. Okay. Sometimes is the title of an unreleased and controversial song by Dirty Davy. The mention of it on a few sites claiming it was on the first release of his mixtape but was removed. There's no audio or visual evidence of it existing, but they are independent accounts from people who have claimed to have heard it, and they do generally line up. According to their recollection, it was about many different loosely connected occurrences of the number 17, mostly violent. Intro states it was written on Davy's 17th birthday and involved a fictional but glorified series of murders at a fashion show for a teen magazine with a similar name to the song title. The person doing the violence was apparently trying to beat Dahmer's high score. Jeffrey Dahmer pled guilty to killing 16 people in 1992. What? Alright, due to major acts of gun violence in schools earlier this year and the subsequent backlash against violent music and video games, it's generally considered in very poor taste to bring it up. Most of the people that enjoy mentioning it online are either trolls, cutie. Most of the people that enjoy mentioning it online are either trolls or trying to shock people or come from morbidly curious corners of the internet. Oh, it's doing it again. Why do they do that? I don't understand why they do that. Sometimes they loop, sometimes they don't. Did you cook your burgers yet, or are you just cooking them later? Letting them sit for a little bit first. What if I do this here? Nope, can't paste it. What is it called? Hunky hotties. Again. Okay, that's not a thing. Just finished eating. Yum, 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 yum. Burgers in the air fryer are surprisingly good, I will say. Alright, so this is nothing. This is definitely a root tree. And it's very curious as to why David is in his sunglasses. Or Felix. Oh, both of these are in the tree. Why would they be down here? They were married and they had a kid and nobody knows about it. I don't know. I don't know. What do we have here? Maybe we need to look these up. Root of all evil. We'll just go here. And we'll search everything. It should be in the music stuff, but let's try it. All right, it's 5P's debut album. Mostly material that 5P's recorded for his mixtapes. It's first and only single released. Oh, we got something. Finally, hang on. After dropping the single, announced he'd retain the infamous celebrity lawyer Stevie Whitcock to sue his family. Okay. To date, it doesn't seem like he's followed through. At first, the single didn't make much of a splash, but Whitlock, known for publicity stunts, paid thousands of teenagers a few dollars an hour to call and request the video on MTV. Remember those days? MTV? MTV eventually caught on and banned the video altogether, which in turn received national news coverage and made the song even more popular. Okay, so All Your Problems is our next one. This track is the only new song on the album. The subject matter of the song is the hypocrisy of those that claim money is evil. He points out that the only people who think money is evil are those that have it, those that can afford to not be greedy. In the song, 5P triumphantly talks about taking the Rootrees' wealth due to it being his birthright and giving it to those who need it most. Find a copy of the song on a suspicious-looking website and download it for your records. Okay, we'll go do that in a second. Stevie Whitlock is a lawyer with a history of publicity stunts and grandstanding. She's managed to rack up quite a few legal victories for C-list celebrities and athletes. She became famous in the mid-'80s after successfully suing a multinational sandwich company whose 12-inch subs were actually an average of 11.5 inches long. Do you guys remember that? Stevie argued that since the company sold 1 billion sandwiches per year, that was enough missing sandwich to make a sub long enough to span from New York to Los Angeles. The jury awarded her a paltry $5,000, but the news coverage of her crusade turned out to be priceless. Unfortunately, none of this seems related to the Roottrees. Wow. Okay. All right, so we've got new evidence. Let's close this for a second. Right? The Subway and the McDonald's, right? Giving coffee to people through a window, it spills on them and you become a multimillionaire. They actually just haven't had another one. You would think that they just would never put coffee through a window again after it costed them that. But we're going to listen to this while I read, if it's possible.
Attention, attention, Roottrees. This is 5P coming at you from the real world. You know, the place you ain't ever lived in.
You say money is the root of all your problems. Root of all your
Man, y'all are hypocrites. Sitting back in your massive estate.
Can you hear it? You need me to turn it up.
Your ancestors gave you, acting like you somehow deserve it, based on your family's creations. Yo, but looky here, sonny, don't you come for our money, or you might burn bright in hellfire someday, like that Madsen chick and her two dads. My pappy's clan Lies and trust should keep you away. Yo, it's disturbing, catching a sermon from a geezer who's never known hurt, but blurts out these claims that somehow we're sinners cause we didn't earn it. When all of your worth it came free with your name, you expect me to treat your lectures on greed as some expert.
Oh, this is too Miracle.
I turn my other cheeks and spread them. When you give me a kiss, you'll know just where to aim.
Is a root of all your problems. Let me take those problems away.
Wow.
Whoever calls dollars the root of all evil, just trying to make small pursuits of real people. You silver spoon feeds you the world's purest treacle, while real world folks burning spoons with a needle. So once more with passion, tell this poor tragic orphan how your mansions and Porsches are actually horrible. How I'm better off penniless, grasping for morsels. How wanting my share, that's actually extortion. With your candy ass name, synonymous with sweets. Oh, you wanna call me classless? I'm gangster from Portland, but I play that game. I came up on the streets. The only streets you reppin' are Park Place and Boardwalk. Hypocrisy, monopoly is toppling. When I knock, have G's. Top off my pockets, please. Cause the same God that got to steal my mom from me is what he wants, right? For you to live in poverty. And if you're suddenly not eager to unhand that fortune, that's unfortunate. I guess
Yes.
I'm gonna have to take my portion.
Damn.
Do it all legally. Class action, courtroom, decorum. I'm way past your fancy ass dormant.
You say money is a root of all your problems.
This is
Let me
great.
take those problems away.
Bring the choir in.
You say money is a root of all your problems. Let me take those problems away.
This is just all going to be repeated.
You say
Yeah.
money is a root of
All right, so it didn't really say anything too much at the top here. Just this is the song. Didn't make a splash, but it definitely is catchy. I gotta place one more person for us to lock people in, and I just don't know. 100% know that one of the miracles definitely is on here. The only thing I don't know is which person is the miracle, right? So if it's 75 to 82, that's 1998. So I think that would be this generation. Oh, look at this. There's a picture missing for Chris Rafferty. But he's not. He was a student. Huh. Was that missing in our last one? I don't remember. 1921. Possible infidelity. That's this level. So is it going to be him? This company was started in 1908. So that's definitely this generation. As they had kids, they made the 5 pieces of candy after all their kids were born. Well, it was the 5 pieces. They took one piece out and they added a new one to make it right back to 5 pieces, I guess. So that would be about, 20 years of having kids. That sounds about right. The 20s would maybe be them, or maybe it's him. I don't know. We got another top secret, which... who knows? Guardian adopted. So these red twine things were used up here. So I guess it's that's where the questionable people are, right? Because like he's inside one, These are the ones that we need to determine if they're root trees. All right. I don't know what information. I think we got all the information. There's still 7 pieces of information here. It might just because they're not locked in. I think that that's what this is. As you progress, lock in family members, new discoveries are added, and old evidence becomes less useful. Yeah. The higher the number, the more there is to find. So what do we have? We have, how can there be that much information to find based on this? Or is it just the magazine, maybe? Piketty magazine. Let's go take a look at. What if we look up Guy Hudson? Is it? It's not. It's Hudson. S-O. Yes. Okay, let's see what we got here. This is new. That's just going to tell us that his dad, you know, whatever, was Guy Hudson. I think we've seen this one about toy fish and demonic messages. Demonic? What if we look up demonic talking toy fish? Nothing. I'm disappointed. They could have so gone with that. Article about a canceled book. Do we... What was the name of that book? What if we just look up... Oh, damn it. Sorry. 6 pieces. Yeah, we need to look that up here. It's by Sam. All right. Holy Hannah. It was released earlier this year. The details about the truth. Sam's fathers, Edward Clancy and John Miller. You helped verify her story, so much of the book's core contents are familiar to you. That said, Sam had some sections on other family secrets and rumors. Much of it didn't matter to the primary purpose of the book, and some of it is new to you and may be important to your new search. These sections have been added to your notes. Okay, so that's fantastic. That's what we needed, was something new. Let's take a look and see what we got. 6 pieces. Sam's book has a few different... That's her dad. Sam's book has a few different passages about her own history with the company and the rumors and gossip she collected during that tenure. She ran the farm for a period starting around 1968 after the death of Elias Roottree until her daughter Gwyneth took it over in 1984. I can't click. So I won't be putting her dad, I won't be adding her into anything. Most of the relevant rumors coincide with the reign of Guy Hudson, who took over as president in 1978. Sam was very much not a fan of Guy, and according to 6 pieces, it was an open secret within the family that Guy was very much not a fan of remaining faithful to his wife, Patricia. Many of the hires at the time were young, single women, and Guy often spent lavish amounts of money on private parties. Yep. Yeah, well, the 5, quote, 5/6 pieces were the original start of the candy company. It's all family. Yeah, it's all family. It's a hot mess. They're rich, dirty folks. This was 20 years ago, and Sam warns that most of it is hearsay. Still, you find the following information that may be relevant. One of Sam's farm supervisors was named Elizabeth. Elizabeth had a daughter who Sam never met, but who worked as one of Guy's secretaries. Okay, according to Elizabeth, a caterer from a local restaurant called Antonelli's, hang on. Common name for Italian restaurants. Okay, all right, let's go back. At one of Guy's parties. Wait, okay. According to Elizabeth, a caterer from a local restaurant called Antonelli's met her daughter at one of Guy's parties, and they eloped quickly due to pregnancy. Okay. Elizabeth wasn't aware that the party was for swingers. Rumor has it that her daughter showed up with Guy and didn't seem comfortable switching partners. Alrighty. Guy's main positive contribution to the company involved expanding there was a set of twins, one of which was found to be gay back in the early 1900s and basically excommunicated from the family, was told either stop or leave, and he chose to leave, and they covered up his existence, kind of, sort of, in an obvious way. And then they had another baby to make up for the missing child. So, yeah, like dirty deeds done dirt cheap. Yeah. Okay. Involved expanding to markets previously untapped by Roottree. However, when he went on trips overseas, they were often for weeks at a time, and Guy was known for spending more time and money on unofficial business than meetings with distributors and manufacturers. It was said that he bribed at least one politician to open a factory in Brazil. There's also a section where Sam speculates that Elias may have also cheated on Gwyneth. Gwyneth was always much kind, so it's yeah, him. Okay, so he's going in that spot. Oh, wait, I'm going to do this right now. This is going to be him. Because it's 1921. I think it's him. Elias Roottree. I'm putting him there because I think it's him. We'll find out, but I think so. Okay. It just fits the timeline, and the other ones don't. Gwyneth is always much kinder to Sam than Elias was, and was the first to invite Sam to family events. While she has no hard evidence, Sam always got the impression that Gwyneth was able to coerce Elias into allowing Sam back into the family using some kind of leverage, instead of it being a natural course of events. She mentioned that Elias and Gwyneth were known to loudly argue, sometimes about another woman. Sam also says her son Ernie once asked her, "Who's Beth?" because he overheard them yelling about somebody with that name. As far as Sam knows, Elias once had a secretary named Elizabeth, a different Elizabeth than the supervisor from the farm, but she never met her. So, we're going to put that in as a possibility. I'm just putting the name. I'm going to say should I put Elizabeth? I think so. We're going to leave that like that. Because we don't know if it's the farmhand or if it's the secretary. Unknown occupation. We know who he was. He was the first president. We're going to leave that like that. I don't know. Does that seem right? So if this is senior Roottree, senior, this guy, Miracle, They all have, they all three of the preachers use the rainbow tie, but at 49, in 1949, so this, they started the company in 28, in 08. So these guys were born in that period. These guys were adults. So, I mean, you figure 20 years, right? 20 years, 20 years. Because, you know, you don't start having kids usually till you're about in your 20s. That's average, on average. But it doesn't always mean that it was the case back then. So by 40, you know, they were born by 1908. So by 40, he was 40. Might have had an affair. Or it could have been his son. So it could be Miracle Jr. or Miracle in this picture. Not that picture. This one. But he has a cane. I'd like to know when this picture was... Would you think that it was maybe this one? I don't know. 1949. So if this was generation 1, this was Papa. This could be 1921. I mean, this could be 20 years, 20 years. 75 to 82 is that generation. So where's Guy? Guy's here. Yeah, they were all growing up in the 60s. So before, yeah, it's definitely back here. But if we're skipping, it's going to be him. I think it's going to be him. I'm going to put him in here. Now, it says that the names are in here, but they don't all have to be used. I think it's him, because I think that would definitely give it away. And he was a preacher. We know he was a preacher, always a preacher. Okay, so we definitely have stuff wrong. Definitely have things wrong. I mean, he could very well be. It definitely isn't over here. '99. He became president. 99. So like older. I bet it's this guy. I bet it's Miracle Jr. Hang on. Nope. Miracle the Third. I mean, they're all preachers, so it doesn't. I think it might be him. No, it definitely has to be the. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. This is. Wow, definitely next step compared to the last one. Very limited stuff to go by. Clark became 6th president. So we know that Clark had affairs. One kid. Do we think this is Clark? Do we think this is Clark? Because he had because we know he had affairs. And that Guy has to be somewhere else. Here. But we don't know if he's married or not. I wonder if that's what our thing is. Because we know that Clark had marriages. Just infidelity. We know. He said, plain and simple, that he was a hot mess. And we know that Guy was a ladies' man. I'm not sure. Definitely not Clark. So 98. I don't think these guys would still be. They could be 60, 70, 80 years old. I do think that this is Elias, though. What if we look for Antonelli's here? Damn it, I can't remember how it's spelled. Tone. Oh, why'd I get a K in there? And we're gonna search all. Let's see. Antonelli's. IS. Oh, come on. There we go. A restaurant. It has been in the Butler County Times twice. Most recent time was when it closed, 1992. Owner Rochelle Zimmer. Hang on. Gotta hop. Nothing. Okay. Sold the land the building was on and at the time of the article, she was unsure if the restaurant would move to a new location or if she would retire. Many years before that, there's a puff piece from Valentine's Day, 1978, that they asked recently married residents of Butler County how they met. Christina Garland responded. Nope. Okay. She and her husband, Steve Garland, who was a chef at Antonelli's, met years ago. Oh, years ago when she delivered produce from her mother's farm. Steve used to work extra hours just to be there during her deliveries. Although they grew apart, didn't we read something about meeting a chef? We'll have to look into that more. Although they grew apart when the restaurant switched suppliers, they reconnected by chance and eloped at the end of last year. Now she has a bun in the oven, and they're both working as much as they can. She's a secretary, but went back to delivering produce on the weekends, trying to save up money to move to Boston and open their own restaurant. So Christine Garland is a secretary for someone. She's the one that we were just reading about. Okay, so Christina Garland. Come on. Highlight. She worked on a farm, delivered produce. Now married to, what's his name? Steve. And working as a secretary. Put it in big letters so it stands up. She's a secretary, but went back to delivering produce on the weekends. All right, we'll leave that at that. Let's do a Steve Garland. Steve. I don't want to delete it. Chef at ELLIS. And married to Christine. I'm not writing her last name on this one though because I want to know what her maiden name was. I gotta find that out. Okay. This, wait, I gotta save this. And this one is, pregnant, 1978. 1978, because that's when this article. No, I haven't looked them up yet. You think that's going to be a good one to, oh, I think we did. Let me see. I think I wanted to get her book, her 6 Pieces book. Yeah, here. That's what I looked up. Do you think I should look up just her herself? Oh, sorry. All. And we'll Google her too. Yeah. What if we do? Nope. What if we do it here? Nope, nothing. We tried. Can't help but try. Can't hurt to try. Unexpected visitor, notables. Still something here that we need to grab. We looked all of these things up. What about her father? Hang on. Samantha's fathers and the struggles they faced was compelling, and that the takedown of the hypocrisy of Elias Roottree was deserved. However, many took umbrage with the timing of the release and the tone of the book, which seemed vindictive. Fallout from the book led to the Roottreee Company scrambling to release a statement. A few months later, due to Roottreemania, the book came back out. What about her father? So look up her father. Okay. Sorry, I want to make sure I get this right. Where is he? There he is. Edward Clancy Roottree and John Miller. Okay. Wait, what's this? Okay. EDWARD. C, does it have an E? I think it does. No, it doesn't. Nothing? How is that possible? How is that possible? How is that possible? Like, the whole thing's about him. Nothing. All right, John Miller. Nothing. How? How? I don't get that. She kept her name for the new book that came out. Nothing comes up for her under that name. Um, hmm. Oh gosh. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to look up there. She was a secretary in the 70s, right? 78, worked on a farm, delivered produce, now married to Steve, working as a secretary. So she's going to be... So he had an affair with her. She married him and is going to have another kid later. I bet this is the one we're doing. These guys split up. That was secret. I don't think it's final. Because this goes to 82, and this is 78. When was this one? I don't have a date for this. Yeah, I think that this is going to be Christine. I'm just going to do it. Christine. We don't know her name, though, before being married, but we do know that if this is correct, her husband's name is Steve. I'm not sure. Steve Garland. And we're going to write that she is a secretary. We don't have a picture of her, though. Let's give her a look up. Oh, God. I'm sitting here too long, guys. Yeah, it's going to be the same thing that we already read. Okay. 1992, it closed. I don't think there's anything else for us to pull out of this. She delivered produce from her mother's farm. So, oh wait, am I connecting that? Am I, we don't have a Christine here. I thought maybe it would be like, but we're 1990 some, okay, so literally this just happened that he became president. So 1999, which means these guys might be old enough to have kids, but it's only 6 months passed between family trees. So who knows? I wish that up here on these people I mean, we have some sort of an idea of dates, but we really don't. We don't have dates. And I wish we had like, oh, birth dates or something for those. I think that some of the evidence that we've been finding is starting to give us some of that, but holy Hannah, that's all I can say. This is going to be quite an undertaking. Very interesting to me. Is this unknown name? So, family tree. Why would these guys be down here? That they got married without anybody knowing? 98 and had a baby. Is that it can't be the people that we're looking at right now. It can't be these guys because this article was written in 78. So it's got to be who hurried up and got married. Somebody hurried up and got married that's on here already. These guys, I bet, because there's another picture. That's the only thing that would make sense to me. It would be these guys. They hurried up and got married. Because they were married here. But there wasn't a mention of a child. So, or maybe these two go here. I don't know. It's people on the thing. All right. Well, we're at 2 hours and 38 minutes into the stream. Holy cow. Just absolutely insane. I know it was a lot of reading today. And anybody that's stuck around, I greatly appreciate you for sticking around. This can be a little nuts, but I want to thank Lunas and Bender, not to diminish anybody that was here and did not, but thank you very much for your memberships. It's neat to be seeing how all that works because, you don't ever get to see any of that prior to getting to 500. That's pretty cool. I'm going to learn how to do a rolling credit things at the end, and names are going to start going into there for appreciation and things like that. I'm working on that too off to the side. But for now, I got to end it here. My legs are not tolerating, and I think I pushed it too much sitting here for as long as I did, but I totally lost track of time. Sending love to you all, and hope you have a great rest of your day. And I will see you guys in the next one. Lots of love, guys. Bye.